Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about my project, Development Agroforestry System, made on Finca Viernes in Utuado with the farmer Rafael Juarez Para. Before starting, I will tell you a little about myself. My name is Kiara Tomassini Reyes, a student at the University of Puerto Rico, Mayagüez. I am a student of horticulture with a curriculum sequences in plant biosecurity and minor concentration in ethics. I like to develop my leadership in extracurricular activities. That's why I have been president of the Asociación de Estudiantes de Producción de Cultivo and secretary of the Feria Educativa 5 Días con Nuestra Tierra. I was a research assistant at the Isabela Experiment Station at the Center for Excellence in Quarantine and Invasive Species and at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I live in Camoy, and in my free time, I like to read, philosophize, and learn new things. The point that I will discuss will be the following: problem identification and solution, objectives, agroforestry system model, examples and benefits, place and description, coaching, and summary. When I decided to choose this project, I did so based on the identified problem as the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, because according to FAO, sustainable soil management can increase the supply of healthy food and help reduce food insecurity for the world's population. Specifically, as a population must minimize soil degradation and restore the productivity of soils that are already degraded in this region where people are most vulnerable. Based on the problem, FAO suggests some possible solutions, of which I choose the following to guide my project. According to FAO technical summary, a state of the world soil resource, the clear strategy is to ensure that land use and management maintain or expand soil carbon storage and biodiversity pool. For example, this requires promoting sustainable agricultural practice and land management in our region, halting where possible agricultural expansion on sensitive biomass target. The objectives proposed for my project were develop an agroforestry system, promote conservation practice, promote biodiversity, and increase agrotourism. An agroforestry system model consists of combined forest species and agronomic species. There are different types of agroforestry system. I decided to be guided by the multi-strata agroforestry system. They are commonly known as edible forest garden. It is a form of forestry agricultural production that mimics the structure of natural forests. The image presented in this slide are an example of a structure and the crop that could be used. In the image of the right, you can see the different levels that make up the system. This system can have the tall or short tree, and it should have short herb, vine, and crops under the ground. The image of the left shows the diversity of crops that can be had at the same time in the system, like fruta, vegetales, hongos, forrajes, nueces y semillas, etc. So far, I have not seen an example of multi-strata agroforestry system in Puerto Rico. These systems are practiced in Latin American countries such as Mexico and Peru. However, in Puerto Rico, agroforestry systems are practiced. An example of this is the Hecate farm. Finca Hecate is an agroecological farm, practice forest conservation and eco-education. If you want to know more about this farm, you can search for it on Instagram, like Finca Hecate. The general benefit of working with agroforestry system, according to the curso Bosques Comestibles, are working with the land, low maintenance, and high efficiency, a great diversity of product harvested, resilience to extreme weather situation and change in climate, biologically sustainable, environmental benefits, aesthetic beauty and cultivation of the human being, and commercial potential. Now I'm going to talk about work on the Finca Viernes. In the image of the left, you can see the wooded area of its interested, where the work was done. And the image on the right, you can see the crop you currently have, planting of banana and coffee. The climate of this place is humid. The average temperature is between 60 and 18 Fahrenheit, and the species cultivated so far are coffee, banana, and passion fruit. In this farm, soil tests were carried out to be able to know its condition before starting the work. To carry out the soil sample, 4 places were chosen at random on the farm. 2 examples were taken from each location, 1 shallow and 1 deeper. In the end, I have an average with the result of each sample. They are the one I show in the following table. The recommendation of the laboratory was to bring the soil to pH value of 6. The area of interest have a problem with excess rain, so I have recommended the following 2 conservation practices to the farmer. Create a vegetative barrier and open a channel. Based on that, I have read about the course Bosques Comestibles. I have recommended an agricultural species for each category of structure of multistrata system. There are many species that could be planted. However, I decided to choose only one of each category since it is a new project and it takes a lot of dedication and time. The result will be seen in long term. To maintain the system, you have to focus on always having healthy soil. So I have recommended soil testing every 3 or 5 years and make a nutrient budget. The equation show in the sample of how the budget could be derived according to the multistrata agroforestry system in England. In conclusion, the following objectives were achieved are promote conservation practice and promote biodiversity. However, the objective development and agroforestry system and increase agrotourism are long-term objectives in which it is expected that the recommendation given can enforce them. The most important thing for me is to be able to recognize and make a call to continue putting into a practice agroforestry system and conservation practice. And that's are my reference. Thank you for your attention.